Good morning. For this week and next week, we'll be learning about geometry. We're going to start off with the basics and then move our way forward. So everyone should have their packet out and read along with me. Whatever I highlight, I want you to highlight as well. Whatever I write, I want you to write as well. So the first thing is a point. And the definition of a point is a position in a plane or in space that has no dimensions. And I wrote right here, it's a dot. So wherever you see just a dot, that's a point. I think we all know that. Next, a line is a set of points in a straight path that extends infinitely in both directions. So when we see here, the arrows mean it's going on forever and forever. So make sure whenever you see a line that both sides are going on forever. And how we label this is right here. AB, AB, and you have the line with the two arrows pointing outwards, signifying it's going on forever. It's going to be very important because the next one you might get tricked up on. So this one is called a line segment, which is a finite portion of a line that has two endpoints. Essentially, it's just a piece of a line, just a piece. And if you grab any piece of something, like a piece of a number line, it has two ends. So imagine this is the number line, and we take the line segment A, B. We just took this section right here, and we are representing it like this. And how we write it is right here. So AB again, or BA, and just a flat line with no arrows. That means it stops. Okay? And the reason you might see it AB or BA is it works either way. You can travel from A to B forever, or B to A forever. It will be an issue with array though. So, array is a portion of a line that extends from one endpoint infinitely in one direction. And it's signified right here. I want you to look right here. It starts somewhere and goes on forever in one direction. If you're getting confused, I want you to think of a ray of sun, sunlight ray. It starts from the sun and it goes on outward from the origin, which is the sun. So it starts at one point and goes on forever. This ray is called AB. Now, it's important to know that A is the endpoint, so that's why there's no line arrow right here. It keeps on going forever from B and on. So that's why there's an arrow at this point. So endpoint and a line forever. That's why it's written like this. It would not be correct to write BA because it does not start at B and it does not go infinitely in the direction of A. So this would be not correct. So these are the four definitions we went over. Please go back if you are struggling and need me to explain it again. So we're going to go over these together, and I believe you have the first three already written for you. So name each point, line, segment, or ray. Always look back, okay? So this one has an endpoint and an arrow. And then look back. Which one is showing me an endpoint and an arrow? You can look at the pictures right here, or look at the definitions. I think looking at the pictures is easier, and I see that this one has an endpoint and it's going on forever. So I know this is a ray. And how do I write it? Like one of these. So you can write X, Y. Remember, it starts here, so I'm not going to have any arrows, but I have an arrow here. It's going on forever in the direction of Y. This would be our first answer. Look at this one. I see 2 dots, so I know it's not a point. There's no arrows, so it's either a line or a line segment array. If I look back, I see right here, line segment. It has only 2 dots, no arrows. 2 dots, no arrows. So I write D, E, and because it has no arrows, I'm not going to draw any arrows. This is correct. If you wrote it like this would be also correct. I look at 3. I see 2 dots all by itself. There's no line in between. So I'm looking at point. So again, I put an S and I put a dot. T and a dot as well. I want you to be able to do the rest on your own. Next, we have this. Draw and label each of the following. So I see this. I don't know what this means. I'm going to look back. Where do I see 2 arrows on top? Right here, line. So that means I'm going to draw a line. It has 2 arrows, so I'm going to draw 2 arrows. Make a line. Put a dot here. Put a dot here. A, B. Points C and D. What do? It's just a point, so I'm going to just put a dot. If you look at this, is this a line segment or a line? If you see it, it's a line segment. There's nothing up here with arrows, so you know it's a line segment. And you would draw a line segment. Do the rest for 4, 5, and 6. Alright, so this one's a little trickier. Now you have this right here. There's a lot going on. But let's look at it and work on it together. Name 4 points. So I'm just looking for dots, nothing else. What do we have? Dot, 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 dot. So we have O, L, M, and N. These are our 4 dots. Now name 2 line segments. If I just look at it, this looks like a ray, this looks like a ray, this looks like a ray. LM looks like a line. Where are the line segments? Because I see arrows. Well, all you have to do, if I highlight right here, this is just a line segment. Remember, you're cutting it off. So, if you have that issue where you do not know, just take this piece. So we have L, M. Now, you can see that there's an arrow here, but you don't have to put it. You can just say line segment LM. We're going to go over what happens if it has an arrow. What's another line segment? I want you to fill that in. Name 3 rays. So I'm having a starting point and an arrow going infinitely in one direction. So if I look here, where's a good starting point and where's an arrow? If you said M is the starting point, you're right. That's the center. Think of it as like the sun, the yellow sun. And where am I going out? You see this arrow right here. So it would be M, N. I start at M and I'm making an arrow going infinitely in one direction. This is one ray. I want you to have the 2 other rays written down. This one, named a line. So what's a line? A line goes on forever. He has 2 arrows in each direction. So let's look up here. Where do we see two arrows in a straight line? If you said LMN, that is a straight line. I see two arrows at the end, and it's going on forever. So how would I write this? I know some people might say, oh, it's LMN or LM. You want to take the two farthest endpoints. So LN. Right down here. And remember, it's a line, so we have to write the arrows on top. I want you to be able to do the last 4 questions on your own. If you have trouble, pause, go back and look over here and look at the explanation. Okay? So again, we're going to look at points. So find the dots. Line segments, so just pieces. Raised as one starting point and one infinite direction. And then a line goes on infinitely. Try this out. If there's any issues, please give me a comment. I'll work with you as much as I can, and we'll solve this together. Thank you.